Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. And today I wanted to talk about the Zeus Mk II. We kind of guessed that this ship was going to be released during CitizenCon, but a lot of us didn't know what the exact specs were going to be. We had an idea that it would be this kind of Dorito-shaped spaceship, but I have to say, it looks incredible. I think CIG really knocked it out of the park with the design. It kind of reminds me more of the Galaxy styling and less like the Aurora and the Constellation. Now, some people are saying that the Constellation series might need a rework now. This ship kind of fits in a very interesting place in RSI's lineup. To be perfectly honest with you, these ships are, and it is a line of ships, these ships are a lot more versatile. These ships are a lot more full-featured than I was ever expecting. So let's get right into it and kind of ask the question, should you buy this? Should you upgrade? What's going on with this ship? Okay, we all know here that the Zeus is very legendary in Star Citizen lore. It is the ship that had the first commercially available quantum drive. It was very successful, and it put RSI on the map. This is the Mark II, so this is the second version, the upgraded version for a new market, and these ships look amazing. Okay, so we have three variants here. We have the ES, the MR, and the CL. The first variant here is the ES. With a focus on exploration, the Zeus Mk II ES features a robust radar package for finding new discoveries, along with enhanced weaponry and shielding to help bring them back home. Now, this is a very interesting point, shielding, because we will get into the specifications of these ships a little bit later, but this ship has a lot of shields. Now, some people are saying that there is a component rework coming in the pipeline. I know that CIG is changing the category that the tractor beams are on. They are moving the tractor beams from weapon scaling to component scaling, but CIG hasn't said anything about changing component sizes. And if you think about it, it doesn't make sense for them to, all these components already physicalized and modeled in the game. It would mean they have to go back and change a bunch of things. I think that this ship just has a lot of shields, and again, we will get into that when we get to the specifications portions. And I'm going to explain why this ship's component loadout actually makes a lot of sense. The next ship we have here is the MR. Okay, with a focus on security, the Zeus Mk II MR features an EMP device and quantum dampener to help neutralize hostile forces. Okay, this is your bounty hunting ship. This is the ship that you're going to want to go out and capture other players. This is kind of going to be a big PvP ship. It has a lot of weapons, has a lot of shields. It has the EMP to kind of get rid of your shields and your equipment and mess you up. You put distortion cannons on this thing is going to be a lot of trouble. Okay, and it's got those prisoner pods, so when you catch the player, you can put them on board and deliver them to the new security locations at stations in the verse right now. So this is going to be a very interesting ship for bounty hunting. We saw a little bit of that rework with the Hawk, but we don't know what's happening with the Cutlass Blue and the Avenger. Now, this is one of the most interesting ships for me personally as an industrial player. This is an amazing proposition. This is the Zeus Mk II CL. With a focus on commerce, the Zeus Mk II CL features additional cargo space and a tractor beam ideal for handling large volumes of freight. And this is a great photo to kind of show you everything that this ship has to offer right now. You see it has the tractor beam here on this boom arm. Okay, you see this boom arm coming up from the back, kind of like how the C1 has the tractor beam on that rail system in the back. So it gives you kind of like a 360-degree area of usefulness for that tractor beam. Then you have the ramp here. You can see the cockpit in the front. with the 2 pilot control weapons, and it looks like there's a window on the side here. And we'll get into the interior in a little bit, but you also see a ladder in the front. That's right, this vehicle has 2 areas to enter and exit from. That is huge. Okay, so this is a very interesting looking ship. Okay, we have a little look here. It's the cockpit, pilot control weapons right here on either side. Again, it looks like you have a window here. Remote turret is on the underside. Okay, this is not a great position for a remote turret, but it is better than nothing. This is the Explorer variant we're looking at here, and here is some specifications. 3 crew, 3 suit lockers, 32 SU of cargo, 4 size 2 shields. This is huge, and this was what a lot of people was kind of surprised at. They were saying, this can't be right, this must be some kind of mistake. I'm going to explain why I don't think that this is a mistake. Okay, 1 size 3 radar, 1 size 3 fuel tank. Okay, that is the exterior. Let's take a look at the interior. Now we can see here, you've got your cockpit, you've got your docking collar here, you've got your suit lockers, then you have a hallway, and this area right here is your secondary entrance and exit with a ladder that goes down to the surface. And this is an airlock room. So open this door, go down this ladder, and exit the ship. Then you have a hallway here, and this room at the back here is what I am assuming is the kitchenette area. So this is where you're going to prepare your food and do all that. Then you have your bunk room. This is where the 3 crew is going to sleep. Okay, and at the back here you have your cargo hold. So the main focus of this ship, 32 SU of cargo, is its component loadout. Okay, you have those large shields, you have that nice radar, you have that you know, the large fuel capacity. This is gonna be an amazing ship for pyro. Lots of shields, lots of fuel, lots of scanning capability. You have a little bit of cargo, so when you go looting, bunkers, salvage, you can put it in the back. I wouldn't say this is a general cargo hauler, but for multi-purpose gameplay in a system like Pyro, this is going to be a big ship. This is going to be a good ship for that. Okay, next thing we're going to look at is the Mk II MR. The exterior here, pilot control weapons again, cockpit, you have a remote turret on the top and the bottom, so your 2 co-pilots here are going to be able to control those remote turrets. You also have your EMP and QED device here up at the top. Okay, this is going to be big for all of your bounty hunting gameplay again. So the big thing with this is it has an onboard armory, so you can store your weapons in there and gear up before you do whatever missions you want to do. 3 size 2 shields, 1 less than the exploration variant. Okay, 3 size 2 shields is still a lot of shielding. 16 SU of cargo. Again, aside from getting the bounties and having the storage containers to put the actual players in, or NPCs, we don't know yet, you have 16 SU of cargo. So if they have any contraband on their ships, any drugs, any stolen loot from other players, you can store that in the cargo hold. You have 16 SU cargo. Okay, last but not least, we have the ship that I'm most interested in, the CL. Okay, the exterior here, you have this kind of blue, yellow, and black paint job. I'm not in love with it, but that's okay. We're going to look at the skin a little bit later. Cockpit, pilot control weapons and missiles. Then the turret is on the other side. I do not believe that the turret is pilot controlled. I believe that that will be controlled by your co-pilot. Again, it's on the other side. Not as convenient as if it was on top. I don't really understand this decision, but we'll see, you know, when we get it in game. Okay, 3 size 2 shields. Again, lots of shielding, but here's the interesting part: 128 SU of cargo. This puts this ship in a very interesting place, in my opinion, because you look at the size. Okay, I believe this is a 46-meter long ship, the same size as the C1 Spirit. Okay, we have way more cargo. it is larger than the Freelancer Max. The Freelancer Max, I believe, is around 38 meters long, okay, and it has 122 SU of cargo. So this is 46 meters long with 128 SU of cargo. The Freelancer Max is 36 or 38 meters long with 122 SU of cargo. So this is direct competition, in my opinion, to that Freelancer Max, okay? And the Freelancer Max is priced relatively the same as this. So we're gonna look at the price here in a little bit. Again, you have two size 2 fuel tanks. You have a size 2 tractor beam. So this gives you ability to look at the cargo like what we saw. Now let's take a look at the interior. Large cargo hold. Again, cockpit at the front. The front section is the same across the variants. Very similar anyway. I don't think we took a look at the MR's interior. No, we didn't. Okay, I'm sorry, we'll go back for a second and look at the MR's interior. You got the cockpit, suit lockers, docking collar, your enter and exit hallway. You have your habitation, the bunks here, bathroom. Then on this other side, you have the kitchenette. So this bulkhead forward is pretty much the same on all three variants. Now, what you're gonna have that's different on the MR version is the armory over here where you can store your weapons. Then you have the prisoner transport pods here on the side and your 16 SU of cargo, which will go on either side here, ramp on the back. I'm not sure what this room is up front here. I believe that you enter in the hallway here, then you turn left and you turn right. So this area might be components, it might be personal storage. We'll find out a little bit later during the Q&A. Okay, so now let's go back to the interior on the CL. Again, this front area is the same. You've got the little kitchenette on this side, you've got the bunk beds and the shower toilet combo thing over here. But you have this huge cargo area. Now this is going to be great because you can fit large ground vehicles in here. It looks like this is supposed to be a player character. For scale, it looks like you should be able to fit an Ursa or similarly sized vehicle in this cargo area. And again, 128 SU cargo. This, in my opinion, would make for a perfect daily cargo runner. The Freelancer Max has 2 size 2 shields. This has 3. Okay, again, I believe that these numbers are correct, but I always suggest before making any purchasing decision, you wait for the Q&A. The Q&A that CIG posts after these concept sales gives you all of this information that we miss out from this marketing material. Okay, the marketing material is just kind of to show you what the ship is about, but you always want to wait for that Q&A. You can ask questions on the Spectrum thread and CIG will answer them in that Q&A. Okay, but yes, 3 size 2 shields, 2 size 2 fuel tanks, 1 size 2 quantum fuel tank. You have that size 2 tractor beam for those larger cargo container boxes. Again, 128 SU of cargo. This is a very, very interesting ship in my opinion. Big competition for the Freelancer Max. Okay, and now I kind of want to go back for a second. I'm sorry, I'm jumping around all over the place to the ES for a second here, because I think a lot of people are gonna say that this is a C1 killer, and it's like, where does the Spirit series land with this ship coming out? Because it is the exact same length as the Spirit. Okay, this is 46 SU of cargo. So we'll actually just jump in right now and look at the tech specs. Okay, here is the technical specification sheet. We have the 3 variants here, and I'm gonna zoom in so we can see this. Okay, it's hard to control, but you know, we can see what we're working with here. Again, 3 crew, 46 meters long. That's the exact same length as the C1 Spirit, but the width is 34 meters. That is narrower than the C1 Spirit. 8 meters high, 3 suit lockers, 32 SU of cargo. A little bit less than the C1. The C1 has 48 SU of cargo. Okay, but again, those 4 size 2 shields versus the C1's 1 size 2 shield. Now, a lot of people are saying that this is a typo or something. But in my opinion, I think this ship honestly slots in as competition for the 400i. Because you look at the 400i specifications and you look at the Zeus Mk II specifications, the ES version, this Explorer version. The 400i is an Explorer ship. This is an Explorer ship. The 400i is a little bit larger than this, but not by much. And the 400i has a large shield, okay, because it's technically supposed to be in the same class as the Constellation and the Corsair, but its specifications kind of fall in line a lot closer to this. Its cargo capacity is a lot closer to this. I believe it has around 32 SU as well. Again, it has that large shield, but 4 size 2 shields is essentially equivalent to 1 large shield, or 1 size 3 shield. So it has just about the same shields as the 400i. It has about the same cargo as the 400i. It has 2 size 4 fixed weapons for the pilot, which is the same as the 400i, 2 size 4, but it has 1 turret. The 400i has 2 turrets. It has 2 size 2s on the top, 2 size 2s on the bottom for the co-pilots. Missile racks, they both have missile racks. So okay, but the 400i has that hover bike garage, and it has escape pods, and it has separate rooms. It has the captain's quarters and the crew quarters and the separate bathroom. It also has that holographic navigation table, which again, now that we've seen more about the map, these navigation tables might become a lot more interesting on what you can do to scan and map out interesting locations. Again, this is an exploration ship, but it does not have that big holographic table. You will still be able to map and scan and do all that stuff, but that holographic table is going to be an interesting feature. Again, the Carrack has a whole holo deck room dedicated to that kind of gameplay of, you know, going out, exploring, finding these locations, and then selling that information. That's going to be very interesting and fun gameplay, in my opinion. That is kind of what I was hoping for that gameplay of exploration of, you know, the game is huge. Most of these planetary surfaces haven't been explored. You know, there are, you know, dozens of rivers in the game, and we've seen like 3 or 4. There are, you know, dozens of caves. So hopefully CIG drops more of these locations in the game: wreck sites, caves, rivers, little outposts for us to find and explore, and then we will use these ships to drop these locations, sell that information to other players. Hey, there's a resource here. Hey, there's a valuable cave here. How much money do you want to give me for that information? Okay, and then CIG also talked about us being able to rate this information, like, okay, this location was actually really valuable, you should trust this person's information. And then we kind of get that player-to-player reputation. So all these mechanics are starting to tie in. I'm telling you, we saw a lot of really cool stuff during this CitizenCon, and I'm really excited to make more videos about it. But again, here you have the MR, which is the bounty hunting version. Okay, 3 size 2 shields. But again, you have 2 turrets. You have a turret on the top, turret on the bottom. So you have more firepower with the bounty hunting version. And then with the cargo version, it's the same size, 46 meters, but you get that 128 SU of cargo. Again, the Freelancer Max is smaller. I think it's like 38 meters long. It is smaller than this ship, and it has 122 SU of cargo. So the Freelancer Max, again, is a very cool ship, but it has 2 size 2 shields. This has 3, so you have more shields than the Freelancer Max. Okay, You have more shields. You have slightly more cargo. Okay. You have less firepower though. The Freelancer Max has 4 size 3s. This has 2 size 4s. So depending on what guns you equip on each ship, you could end up with more DPS on the Freelancer Max again. So very interesting loadouts. And you also have to remember, these 2 size 4s are fixed weapons. They say right here, fixed weapons hard points. I do not believe you can put gimbals on this. You might be able to, but they're getting rid of the downsize weapons system. So before, when you had gimbals on, it would just size down the weapon. So if you had a size 4 gimbal, you would have a size 3 gun on that. They're doing away with that system. So I believe that this fixed hard point will not be able to have gimbals on it. So this kind of leads me to believe that maybe this is a very nimble, maneuverable ship. It does look very sleek. Okay, so again, I kind of believe that the ES here is competition for the 400i. To me, they're very similar. But then you have to think about it. The 400i is roughly $100 more than this ship. This ship is coming in at $150. With store credit, 135 war bonds. So let's actually go back and take a look at that right now. All right, here, so special insurance offer. Of course, this is a concept sale, so this is coming with LTI. You have your options here. The Zeus Mk II ES with Solstice paint. This is a very cool looking paint with the black and the gold. This is concierge. I'm concierge, so that's why I'm seeing this. If you're not concierge, you will not have the option to purchase this paint, but CIG always releases skins and different paints and stuff, so you will be able to get paints with this ship. I have no doubt about that. It's just kind of like a limited edition thing they do for those backers that spend a lot of money in the game over the years. And it is a very nice paint, and I think it works really well on this ship. 135 war bond. What are we getting with that? We are getting Airview Hangar, lifetime insurance, and the Solstice paint. Okay, for 135 it is all included. Then this is the ES, that's the Explorer version. The CL is the cargo version. The MR is 170 war bond, so it's a little bit more expensive. Okay, and these are the regular war bond offers without the concierge paint. So if you're not concierge, this is what you will have available. And then we have the store credit, the credit offers 150 for the ES, 150 for the CL, 190 for the MR. Now this is a very interesting decision to make, because you have more shields on the ES, and you have more scanners and radar, and it is the same price as the CL, which has a lot more cargo. Okay, 120 SU versus 32, but you lose one of those medium shields. I think realistically the trade-offs kind of make the CL a bit of a better proposition, but it's up to you if you are more interested in that exploration gameplay. And then of course they have some subscriber gear. If you are not a subscriber, you will not be seeing this. I am both concierge and a subscriber. I know I'm a madman. Don't be like me. Okay, disclaimer: the RSI Zeus Mk II, including all variants, is being offered for the first time as a limited vehicle concept pledge. This means that the vehicle is in development but is not yet ready to play in Star Citizen. It will be available as playable content in a later patch. If you pledge towards the RSI Zeus Mk II or any available variants thereof, you will have access to a temporary loaner vehicle for the use of Star Citizen until such time as the applicable variant RSI Zeus Mk II is included in game. The loaner vehicle will be currently playable vehicle or similar approximate size and or function. Initially, the Crusader A1 Spirit Okay, so you are getting an A1 as a loaner vehicle initially. Now, I believe that we might get a C1 for the CL. So, if you have a C1 right now, this is a very interesting ship to look at because it is not that much more money. Again, the C1 is $110. This is $150. So that's a $40 difference that you have to make up. You could potentially melt another smaller ship or some skins and make up that money and upgrade to this ship, and you will still have your Spirit C1 as a loaner until this ship comes out. Okay, in my opinion, this ship is very competitive. It is a very competitive proposition for Cutlass owners, for C1 owners, for freelance max owners, anything kind of in that size range. Honestly, it is. I would not say this is competition for something like a Constellation. Okay, even though the Andromeda has a little less cargo at 96 SU, it has a lot of guns. You have a lot more firepower. You have those manned turrets. Okay, you have a lot of missiles. You have an insane amount of missiles on that Andromeda. Okay, and then the Taurus has 172 SU of cargo, I believe. So you have more cargo on the Taurus, and the Taurus is cheaper. And then, of course, on the Andromeda, you have the snub ship with the Merlin. I don't think an Andromeda owner is looking at this as an upgrade. You're just not. The Andromeda is a great ship. Visually, because of the cockpit struts, the visibility out of it is not the best. But it does have that front elevator. It has that two access points that you have available there. It has that the docking collar exits on the side as well. The Constellation is a great ship series. I think this ship slots in just below that, but just barely. It's not really, in my opinion, competing with the Cutlass Black and the Spirit C1 kind of class of ships. It's more in between the Constellation and the Cutlass. So for $150, $135 war bond, and you get to see the A1 Spirit as a loaner for this ship, makes it a very enticing proposition. Again, I always recommend that you take a look at the Q&A before making any purchasing decisions. Always look at that Q&A. In the case of the Spirit series, a lot changed, and there was a lot of confusion about the specifications of that ship. That ship grew a lot. That's the thing. If it stayed as it was originally supposed to be 30-something meters long, and at that size, one size 2 shield makes a lot of sense. But now that it's 46 meters, the same size as this ship, that one size 2 shields, it feels kind of underpowered, and everything's already modeled. The ship's basically done. They're not going to go back and upgrade those shields, or they might not, I don't know yet. But I think that's kind of where that ship is going to be, and they might nerf this down. We don't know. This is concept. Okay, we did get to see white box of this ship. Okay, at CitizenCon they showed us white box. We walked around the interior. It's very early days, but it is in production. So I think that getting those metrics down, I think these components are accurate. I think it is more competition for the 400i. Again, this is $150. 400i, I believe the 400i is $250. To kind of compete with the Corsair and the MSR. This is a very good proposition for entry-level exploration gameplay. This is a really good proposition for that medium to upper size freight. This is an excellent proposition for bounty hunting. These three ships are kind of a tour de force. in my opinion. This is basically what you want to look at for that one ship fleet. If you're going to have one ship in your fleet and you want to focus on any one of these gameplays, this is the lineup to look at. That's basically what I'm coming at here. This is basically what I'm seeing from this ship here. CIG didn't pull any punches at CitizenCon. They showed us water physics. Okay, they showed us cloth physics. They showed us hair physics. Okay, they showed us global illumination and ray tracing. Okay, they showed us new cloud tech. They showed us the early stages of silver meshing. We saw storm walls. This CitizenCon is crazy. I have no words for what we're seeing here, and believe me, I'm gonna bring you guys the content on that, so stay glued to this channel. I'm super excited about the content coming out about Star Citizen. It's a great time to be a citizen. You guys, we're doing it. We're making this game. What I saw on stage today was a totally different game than what we're playing now. Okay, Maelstrom, destructible environments. Okay, the new map system, the new quantum drum, the new HUD around the Gladius. How? And we have another day of this. What will they show us next? Squadron 42. Keep your eye on it. I'm telling you right now, this is my prediction. We're going to see some exciting stuff at IAE. Again, we did not see the next variant of the cutter. They kind of teased it, but they didn't unveil it. So we talked about that a little bit in my last video about ships in the pipeline. And so that's kind of what I'm expecting. The Cutter Scott was exactly on the money. We basically saw the ship. It was in the game. And everything that was in the game was exactly like that leak ship, that leak sheet from Pipeline. Again, the information that I brought you guys is readily available leaks. This is not like, you know, I mean, I don't know if I was honestly supposed to be talking about that ship. I saw it on Reddit on the Pipeline you know, leaks kind of thing. So I just, you know, kind of assumed that, you know, these were just the ships in the pipeline and I want to go over them. But I generally don't do leaks on this channel. That was just kind of one of those things where, you know, I saw it and I wanted to do an overview video of all the ships in the pipeline. You guys just obliterated that video. I haven't had that many views. You know, the channel has waves. It goes up and down. That's normal for Star Citizen content. We have slower times, and then we have, you know, times where CIG is putting a lot of content and videos are getting a lot of views. But you guys absolutely went gangbusters on that video. That video did so well, so thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for subscribing. We got so many subscribers because of that video. I think we gained like 20 subscribers just from that video alone. So thank you guys so much for supporting the channel, supporting the content. I really enjoy bringing this content to you guys, so thanks for hanging out with me. So that's gonna be it for me here today, you guys. This is an awesome ship. If you're thinking about picking it up, I suggest again waiting for that Q&A. The components are, in my opinion, still kind of shaky. I think we should wait until CIG confirms what the actual sizes are. These spec sheet things are always kind of sketchy in my opinion, especially after, you know, the Spirit C1 debacle. So I suggest waiting for the Q&A. But this is a very exciting ship, and I would not blame anybody from pulling the trigger on it. But that's going to be it for me here today, you guys. Stay tuned for the rest of the content that's coming up about Star Citizen. And like I always say at the end of these videos, like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more, and I will absolutely see you guys in the next one. Salute.